Morgan Rogers to Chelsea is now a done deal. Chelsea has announced the signing of Morgan Rogers. He has passed his medical and everything is now a done deal. Chelsea signed him £117 million. Now, did Morgan Rogers worth £117 million? For me, he did not worth that amount. And is it an experienced player? No. Morgan Rogers is not an experienced player. He's a good player, but Morgan Rogers is not an experienced player. Now, for me, Chelsea needed an experienced attacker, because if you watch Morgan Rogers now, Morgan Rogers still fall on the same age bracket that Chelsea has already. The whole player that Chelsea have already is 20-something, 20, 18, 19, and for me, Chelsea needed an experienced winger or attacker for me. But they still sign Morgan Rogers that is still beyond the same age bracket that they have already in the club. And if you want to compete in the highest level, if you want to win a trophy, if you want to dominate league or Europe, you will not use only young players. You need to mix them with experience. Now, if you watch last season, Chelsea have good players, but the problem that the Chelsea team was having is that they don't have an experienced attackers and experienced players. That is the issue that Chelsea have last season. And if you watch this current transfer now, Chelsea are not even working on the lapses that they have last season. If you watch last season, Chelsea has a goalkeeper issue. Their goalkeeper was not outstanding last season. Some match he will do well, some match he will flop. Throughout last season, I was expecting by this time this season, Chelsea was okay. Let them announce a goalkeeper. Let them sign a proper goalkeeper. Now, I was still expecting Chelsea to sign a proper number 9, because if you watch last season, it really showed that Chelsea did not have attacker, especially experienced number 9. And I was expecting that Chelsea would sign experienced attacker by now, but we are now hearing that Chelsea has signed Morgan Rogers with £117 million. For me, yes, Chelsea need Morgan Rogers, but Morgan Rogers is not really what Chelsea need. For me, yes, most of the Chelsea fans are celebrating that they have signed Morgan Rogers. Yes, he's a good player, but for me, people could have used this £117 million to sign player like Osimhen or any other high class striker. Because you signing this young man, he's still falling in the same age bracket of players that you guys have already. You have a wingers. What you just need is just to bring out experienced striker, an experienced defender, an experienced goalkeeper. Your team are good to go. You still go and sign this young man £117 million. Did he watch the money? No. Now, is Morgan Rogers a proper winger? No, he's not a proper winger, and he's not a proper midfielder also. You cannot bet your chest and say that Morgan Rogers now will give you a performance from as a 10 if you say you want to play him as a 10. If you say you want to play him as a 8 also, you cannot bet your chest and say that he will give you a proper result playing him as a 8 or as a 10 or as a holding midfielder. Now, Morgan Rogers is a kind of profile of Mason Mount. They are good, but they just believe that put me in the pitch, I will play from the wide area, which sometimes that thing works, sometimes it does not work. Because if you watch now, Unai Emery make use of Morgan Rogers properly in Aston Villa, play him wide, and he will be coming from the wide and he will deliver goals. But as this young man has come to Chelsea now, that thing may not work for him. That pattern may not work for him. That's just for the matter about all this kind of player that normally play from the wide, that don't have a natural wing. Any player that do not have a natural wing, you need to be scared of that player. Any player that did not have a natural wing, that said okay, he always like coming from the wide, he like coming from, be afraid of that kind of player. This is the same thing that happened to Mason Mount, that happened to Mayu and Mason Mount. When Mayu signed Mason Mount cannot play as a 10, he cannot play as a 8, and he cannot play as a holding midfielder. Even that wing, that from the white side, from the flank, Mason Mount cannot offer you as a proper winger. And this has been what Chelsea has done with a big money. For me, he's a good player, but this guy is not really what Chelsea want. He's not really what Chelsea needed for me. But if you watch, 95% of Chelsea fans are celebrating this deal. They are celebrating it as if they have signed Victor Osimhen, which what Chelsea is needing is somebody like Victor Osimhen or someone like Dusan Abramovich from Juventus. Chelsea needed an experienced attackers. Experience. Now this money that Chelsea is spending this guy, if Chelsea need this, use this money and give to PSG for Kvaratskhelia, PSG will release the guy for them. If maybe Chelsea now just use this 117 million pounds, table it for somebody like Kvaratskhelia, PSG will let the young man go. And that is not how you use somebody like Kvaratskhelia to compare to this guy, Morgan Rogers, because Kvaratskhelia is a proper winger, and this guy is not a proper winger. He's not a proper winger, and he's not a proper midfielder also. That's all. Chelsea, the way people are celebrating this guy's deal, I'm just laughing. But I'm not saying the guy will not perform more, but let's watch out the way next season will be, because I'm not seeing this guy doing more than what he's doing, what we know him as also, because number one, he's not an experienced player, and he's a good player, but he's not an experienced player. What your team needs is experienced player. Your team needs an experienced defender, experienced attacker. That is what your team needs, an experienced goalkeeper. This Morgan Rogers is not what your team needs, because you have a lot of wingers there. You have a lot of wingers, and the same things, you sign a lot of younger players that don't have experience. A little thing will make them, they will lose form, and for them to pick that form again is a problem, because they are not experienced. What you need is a player from the age bracket of 26 to 27 years. That is what people need to mix up with the ones you have already. Not for you signing a 23 years old person 117 million pounds when you have never signed an experienced attacker and an experienced defender. I don't know the way Chelsea want to do it next season, but I know that Chelsea has a good team, and Morgan Rogers is good. For me, it's good, but for me, I will not sign that guy, that sort of amount, when we have players like Osimhen and other players that has more experience that can deliver you week in, week out. Because Morgan Rogers now, you cannot bet your chest that this guy will deliver you week in, week out, because he has never gotten to that level of delivering week in, week out. That is the issue. That is another thing that a club need to consider if you want to compete. Sign player that has gotten to this level of week in, week out, they will deliver. Week in, week out, they will be fit. That is another thing, because Morgan Rogers now has never gotten to that bracket of week in, week out for him to deliver week in, week out. He has never gotten to that stage. As a Chelsea fans, what is your thought regarding the unveiling of Morgan Rogers to Chelsea, and what is your thought regarding the shocking signing? Because most of the Chelsea fans did not expect that Chelsea will hijack this deal from Arsenal. Most of them did not expect this deal, but Chelsea has completed the signing of the young man. And what is your thought? Also, drop a thought in the comment section. Please also go to your YouTube, type Victor Football Update, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will bring an update on football back to back. And there is a lot of experienced player in the Premier League Chelsea could have signed that will bring a lot of quality and a lot of things in the team. There's a lot of experienced players, but they are signed Morgan Rogers 117 million pounds, and most of the fans are celebrating and they have hijacked this guy from Arsenal. I believe I could remember the last time that Chelsea hijacked a player, Modric, from Arsenal. We all know how the guy ended. Chelsea spent a big money, hijack Modric, and during that time, Modric was not what they want. During that time, that they signed that Modric from Shakhtar Donetsk, the guy was not what Chelsea want. But based on that, they said that Arsenal wanted to sign the guy, they just hijacked the deal, and the guy joined them. Till today, the deal did not pay. Now they have still hijacked Morgan Rogers. Is Morgan Rogers what Chelsea want? I don't know for them. But like and share this video. Morgan Rogers Chelsea is now a done deal, and he has passed his medical and he's good to go. Let's watch out what he will do in Chelsea team with Xabi Alonso. Subscribe on my YouTube channel, and I will bring an update back to back.